Hello guys, my name is NATO Safix, and today we have another video, and this time it is yet another session for the Gosu Academy. Last session we talked about a Faceit game that I played on stream on Dust 2, and I went really in depth with all of my thought process in the various rounds. And it's basically what I'll be doing here again. From the title that you can see up here, you can tell in case you don't know who I am. I'm a former professional Counter-Strike player. I've played for a couple of smaller organizations, but also a couple of bigger ones like Heroic, Complexity, and Mouse Sports. Now Mouse. And basically, I like to play Faceit, and in general, just I love Counter-Strike. So what I did today was I played a game of Ancient, and we had a really rough start to this match. But we did kind of claw it back in the end, and I think I personally had a very good individual performance. On top of this, I also, I think I just played good. So we'll listen to the voice comms, and I'll just try to take you through what thoughts I had in the rounds. We can talk about also basically,
Like on land.
yeah, why I did what I did, and as always, there's space for questions as well. So, real quick, the logo you see here is the team called Rush B. They have a guy called Kinky. It's like a pro player. He has been on the scene for quite a while. I'm not sure. I think he was very close to making a major one time, or maybe he did make the major. I'm not quite sure, but he's not the worst player at least. So I did have some good opposition. Also, another like just small piece of evidence. Evidence. I meant information. I just got done with watching like some serial killer TV series called Dexter, so it became evidence instead. But basically, my team at the moment here is about 3,000 elo average in Europe, and the other team is about 3,200 elo average. So we are at a kind of significant elo disadvantage in this match. So here, basically, I just started mid with my teammate. We checked, no one is out mid, no pressure. I naturally rotate B because typically B is where T's tend to go in pistol rounds. They didn't go B, then they smoked and flashed, but our teammate had information that no one really was out. So I thought, okay, maybe this is an elaborate fake, and that's why I'm gravitating towards B. But now that we see people out, I just go closer to A. And then now my teammate dies, and I get a kill on the Xbox guy. Another Xbox guy is there, and I take a really bad duel. I lose. I'll skip the. I'll skip some of the boring stuff here because we're gonna have a rough start to this match.
I think we have timing.
So here, this is kind of interesting. In the second round, since they just went A, and since most people in Faceit tend to play pretty fast on the T sides, at least in the higher elos, I called my teammate Purple here to push A main with me. He was the A player, and hoped that we would get like an instant timing behind, basically. And as you can see, 2 cave, 1 is donut. This means now we have really good timing.
We have pushed A, guys. Try to stay alive. You go behind.
Now we always have the choice: do we want to go together behind, or do we want to split up behind? Now, if you have an instant double flank, majority of the time it's best to split up, because if he was to go behind mid now and he would die, that makes me extremely unexpected. And if we instead go together, it does give us more trade potential, but it ruins the element of surprise for me, basically. Especially since we have MP9s, and also this quick A flank is kind of a normal play. I call that we should split up, and since he had the best, like he was the furthest forward of us two, I make him go behind mid and I go behind B. So as you can see now, round will progress by us losing a player on B, and our mid guy not really seeing anyone. Now he gets contact with someone red room, and he actually loses the duel somehow. But now, because he went behind mid and I'm already basically in T-spawn and past it, I have a really good timing. So, at this moment, I am put into a spot where my teammate is behind the 2 smokes. There's a guy here who isn't looking at me, and I know I have a pretty good flank. I have kind of two options here. One of the options is either I can, kill this guy early and try to go for a multi-kill very quick, or I can try to walk closer and see if I can, line up multiple kills before I take the first, basically. Can anyone tell me why in this specific situation, why is it risky for me to wait with killing him?
Because you have an SMG.
Because
Yeah.
they smoked long and short, so they only need to carry cave and ramp.
Yeah, it was kind of the second answer I was more looking for. I mean, either way, like if I have the SMG, is in fact better for me to walk closer so I can kill them faster. With the double smokes up here and many people around site, it's unlikely that they are going to be just holding the smokes and never thinking about me. If there was someone holding mid or maybe someone in cave holding this, then my timing could still be very good. But at this moment, I don't know it. I disagree with what I did here, and I take my kill early. And as you can see now, I'm not going to be able to get a multi-kill. It's possible, if I didn't take this kill early, that this Kinky, he looks towards ramp eventually, and my whole play is destroyed. But I should have probably given it the chance, and you can see as well I'm annoyed with myself. So
Yeah, it wasn't. Sorry, wasn't that strike guy that killed you looking at ramp anyway? So if you would go there, you would have gotten killed anyway, no?
Potentially yes, but it's possible. I mean, he's spamming the smoke right now, and I think he turns because I
he
kill
turns.
him.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but that's what I assume. So, I'll skip the unimportant rounds. Oh yeah, actually, well, this is kind of important, not really for me. But here, they're coming B with 20 seconds. All we need now is green to take a bait shot and maybe stay alive or even commit to the fight, and then blue with the AK here has a chance to multi-kill. But yeah, blue just misses completely, and then we actually end up losing this round. So that was kind of annoying, but that can obviously happen. Now, I've definitely talked about in the past on Ancient that what most people do in Faceit is they will, as CT, fight before mid at the beginning, then they will have one jumping up heaven and peeking down to B, and then you will have the other one holding the mid smoke, and then you kind of have like a compact setup around mid where you have full mid control as CT, but you also have information towards B, and your cave player is also coming forward, so you are kind of like in a triangle setup in a way. We don't really do a very good job of doing this in any round, because my teammate here just goes donut instead of fighting. Now he decides to fight, and now he kind of runs back again and stuff, and we don't really manage to play aggro and mid in this first round. It's not necessarily an issue. I'm just bringing it up because it kind of is an issue later on, so now you guys just notice that it's something we do consistently wrong, I would say. So now, one of our players, our A player in fact, he disconnects in a kind of important part of the round. And now, yeah, one goes out A and stuff like this. It's just it's a mess. Yeah, I'll skip some of this basically, because I think the T side is the most interesting, just like last time when we played Dust 2. But as you can tell, we got a really rough start to this round, or like this match. Now, we talk about, okay, we are only 4, we don't have a last player because we have a bot, and we talked about taking B control. So, I could have done like a smoke in the B doors from spawn, but I prefer to do it from close, so it's kind of less expected. And now, as we're pushing down here, we get one kill in front of the cave, and now I actually get a pretty good timing. I managed to get 2 kills, but then the bot dies in mid right after this, and now, yeah, I'm just trying to basically play out the round, and I end up losing it.
Just streaming, I can tell you.
Let's see if we can find a I would say interesting round here.
I'm flashing.
Okay. So this I guess I'll just mention for you guys. I told my A player that I wanted to start A
Yeah,
with AWP.
thank you so much, bro.
And just so people are aware, like, if you have an AWP starting A, this should kind of go without saying, but I'm saying it anyway because my guy here messed it up. But he went and Molotov right side and went in and peeked left side. This is something that really shouldn't be happening at this level that I'm playing at, like around this elo. This shouldn't happen. But I see this a lot in, let's say, facet level under 10. That someone is holding an angle and someone goes in and kind of overtakes the angle. Like in this case, because he's Molotov right side, I can never get contact on right side. And because he's moving forward and looking left, no matter what, any duel that comes in A main now, not only will he see him first, but I won't be able to help him at all. And this is just one of those small things that, like, you know, it shouldn't really be happening at this level. It can happen, but I see it happen a lot at the lower levels. And it's really a good thing to think about when you're playing near your teammates. Like, if your teammates are holding an angle, don't run in front of the angle and try to take a deeper angle. Like, even if he would run across my scope and go here and hold to the left, that would mean the back guy would see my teammate first, and the guy from the left would see my teammate first. And they could both kill him in a way where I can't see him or really help. So yeah, just think about the angles you take, and just in general, like, because at this point, I actually called in spawn after we won this other round.
I think Nip want to.
I might get this guy.
Oh, leave mid.
Subscribe.
I can start A here. Like, we should probably. I think you should smoke mid and almost like leave mid.
Subscribe.
They should be going A or B now.
So here it's just like, because we know they don't have that much money, and with the way the game's been going, like they are far ahead and stuff like that, I don't know, something in me told me that they were probably going to disregard mid here and just go either straight to A or straight to B. This is why I started on A, and now
I flash up
they
action.
rotate, like they
Wait, guys,
just
I'm flashing
rush completely
now.
up on B, and I'm on the wrong side of the map. And that's, you know, it's even worse because my purple guy played it in a way where I was not even able to have any impact on A. Really, really important flashbang for everyone to know. If your teammates are fighting here from the backline, you can always throw these flashes that go really high up in the sky. Any T running up from ramp will be blind by this flash, but your teammates can never be blind. And it's something that if you call it, then your teammates know obviously when to peek. But even if you don't call it, this can never kind of ruin your teammates' day. So these are just flashes that are always good to throw if T's are coming up to B.
He's close.
Sadly though, my teammates just go down here. And yeah, I think I get a little unlucky as well. But yeah, we end up losing again. This time to like Tech 9s. This was our way back in the game. And at this moment, it looks really rough, basically. Now, my teammate gets a kill out cave, and I go and trade him, blah, 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 blah. And now an AWP comes and trades me, and it's a little crazy, because, yeah, I'm even holding for him extra, and he moves forward and kills me. So, even worse, now we are down 7-1, and I mean, these first CT rounds is mostly just to set the scene, so you guys know that we really had our backs against the wall.
They can go.
So here, they just ran out mid with Mac 10. My teammate died. I tried to spam for him, but I didn't hit my shots. And at this point, you know, when you kill the donut player and you rush out mid, a normal reaction is to go donut. So that's what I will want to deny them of doing, basically. So as soon as my teammate dies, basically, I'm rotating over to try and get the kill on the A guy. And when I get this kill, that means basically two things. One thing is now I've kind of nullified the donut to A from the T's, because I see only one guy, and if anyone else would be close to this guy, they would likely go together, right? So now I can kind of safely leave this area because if there would be more people here, I would have seen them, basically. If I wanted to as well, I could use my smoke that I have to block off Donut and then leave the area. But at this point, we just killed someone A main, and we also just killed someone out Donut, so I feel pretty confident that now they've seen we are 2 on A, and they might be thinking we are rotating more people towards A. The best thing I can do is actually leave the area. And another point that's really important to notice here is the guy who killed my teammate is Strike. And the guy I killed is this Magister, or whatever his name is. So, I know that the guy we killed in A main is not Strike. The guy that I killed is not Strike. That means there is a Mac-10 hiding somewhere in mid. I think actually maybe I repush Donut here instead of leaving the area. But that's basically the idea. And it's kind of a common thing on CT sides, I would say. In this case, when I notice that he is alone, I can either decide to leave the area quickly or repush the area. And both are kind of unexpected and are kind of only things you can do if you are willing to take a risk, which is a really big part of Counter-Strike, but also if you have obviously the game sense to predict the T's next move. In my head, we blocked them A main, we blocked them Donut kind of, and now they'll be wanting to go somewhere else.
Can we push A? He's behind.
So actually, yeah, I apparently didn't remember what I really did in this round. But what I wanted to do here was push A main, and we could again flank mid, because I just didn't expect that they would be going A anymore, I guess. But because I didn't kill Strike, I guess I'm too afraid to go Donut. Now this guy actually flanks us, and we just turn around and kill him, which is a little lucky.
Shit,
but now you can see, especially after this kill, I'm trying to leave the area immediately. And now we see the bomb in this area. What does this tell us? Anyone?
That's it. He's trying to go to heaven.
Yeah. Either he's going from heaven to mid, right? In which case he would want to be going A, or he's going mid to heaven, in which case he would be trying to go B.
Yeah. But
yeah.
assuming that they just push Donut, it's more likely for them to go from Donut to heaven, right? Because they just
Exactly.
pushed A.
Yes, we've basically just won the whole A fight, right? Like we killed one A main, one Donut, and one flanking red room. It makes so much sense that they feel like, okay, we've been blocked on A, now we need to go B. So when I saw this, I know I need to move towards B, or fight with my teammate in mid.
Like, we might be behind 1-7, but I feel like we're gonna win this match.
It's actually interesting, I forgot I said that. But I even said we might be behind 1-7, but I feel like we're gonna win this match, and then we went on to win it. I'll spoil it for you guys.
Go out mid with...
And the reason I said that, it's not to like bullshit, and it's not just for the vibes on my stream, right? I'm saying this because I actually believe that my team throughout these rounds have been playing pretty well. I have teammates who are communicating, who seem to understand how to play the map. We've been a little unlucky in some key rounds, and have lost a couple of one-on-one stuff like this. So I felt like the opponents were not doing anything special to win, and my teammates didn't do anything special to make us lose, basically. And I think I was playing all right as well. But as you can see, by the way, just to point it out, at this point we are 9 rounds. This is going on 10, and we haven't been fighting aggro-mid a single round in this game so far. And it's not a must, but it's typically good to do at some points. In games where the T's are doing like a lot of util on mid, it can make sense to not want to fight aggressive mid. But in this case, we're playing against a T side who is barely doing any utility on mid, and so for that reason, we should be fighting more aggressively mid, and we haven't been doing that.
I will do the deep molo.
And I think maybe we call to do that now, especially because the T side is a little bit low on money. Actually, because the T side is low on money, I think I'm heading back to B.
What is that call out called? When they go from T to mid, that elbow there.
This part?
Yeah. What is that called? Yeah.
I think most teams call it elbow.
Yeah, that's elbow.
Yeah.
Elbow. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So when you are playing against kind of low money on Ancient, I talked about it so much. It's like my number one thing to think about on Ancient. there are two ways to play it. There is, you can, take over mid, and you can play aggro mid, and you can peek down B lane and stuff like that. But I find, especially in phases, people are very willing to do B rushes with low money. And peeking this is not that great if the T's just smoke you off. And then if they B rush, you will lose. Like, look at our setup here. If I wouldn't rotate into B, against low money, we would have one orb playing solo on the B side, basically. This is, like, really bad. So it's good that I go B here. I don't actually think they go B on this round. They end up going A.
One more, two more.
But either way, we do the right thing again. They have low money, and we want to block the sides. My good friend Cyclone, who is the coach of Mouse, he always said when we were playing together, because I played with him for a couple of years, whenever we would play against Eco, especially on Mirage, he would say, like, we can fight for mid at the beginning of the round, like fight for the control, but after that we have to leave mid because the T's can't plant in mid. And it's one of those sentences that always stuck with me. It's very logical. Everyone knows the T's can't plant the bomb in mid. But having that mindset when you're playing against people with low money is really good. Because one of the worst things that can happen is T side getting a bomb plant. It will give them more money for the next round, even if we win it, right? But also, it's kind of human nature for the T's to want to go to a place they can plant the bomb. So mid is typically, when you have better utility, a good place to block early and leave late. That's kind of what we do. I know I say leave late. In this case, we just took the control and instantly left because that's the nature of Ancient. Here also, as I'm running, I know they're going out A, so I'm doing a running blitz nade, basically. Blitz is a keyword that I think most of the top teams use to say, like, nading the smoke, basically. So I'm blitzing the smoke here, bang, while I run. Now I check, I don't see anyone out. We know last guy is elbow, he's far away.
Can come to him.
And, yeah.
Can you hold?
Like, again, small things that show you that this is like a higher level than your average level 10 face matches. Immediately, when we realize where the last guy is, me and Green, we both take knife. We run into A main to get like a forward, unexpected position. And now,
Can come to him, man.
and now I say,
Can you hold right side?
so now we make a kind of setup that is good to counter if he's coming A main. My guy here is holding right side. As the smoke is fading, now I get contact and I kill him. But as you can see, even if I would die, my teammate would be immediately here for the trade. This is what's the difference between, let's say, 2,000 elo and 3,500 elo. The ability to make setups on the fly.
The whole ship.
But now we are
Die,
back
of course.
a little bit.
They will have like
3-7.
1.9. No mid smoke.
And now again, they don't have that much money because this guy at least had like a Galil. So we are again stacking heavy on the sides. And now our guy kills on B. And I don't actually know what happens here. I guess we just...
Yeah, do it.
Oh yeah, I get a banger of a flash here by my teammate. And then I don't get the kill. That led to
Doesn't even
depression.
steal, so that's pretty.
But now, 4-7. After being down 0-5, after being down 1-7,
Basically. And
we
there's
are
a quick-
actually getting back.
I will need.
Now, because... Well, it's not necessarily because, but at least the only way the T's have almost ever taken mid is by taking mid immediately. So what we could do is do the Molotov that did here, and then double nade in the Molotov. But another option is to, do the normal mid nades and do a blitz setup here, where I'm now holding a nade for the window smoke. So when they go out, I can blow it and I can kill. Problem is, I didn't line up the nade properly. I have actually a set lineup for it, but I don't know why I didn't do it. And I failed it. But luckily my teammate gets the kill. Even if he wouldn't, I would be out here and trading him immediately. Now, because my guy is low, we should honestly probably leave mid, or at least he should. But instead, he goes and fights mid and dies. Which, it is kind of good in this case, since I am now in an unexpected position on copy. There's basically no way for the T's to know I'm here. Problem is, our B player also just died, so if they just accelerate towards B, I won't get much from this play.
I might have killed mid.
And now I hear him running towards Tetris, like Tetris boxes.
Coming window.
And I was thinking I would catch him here. So now I'm thinking he's behind this box. Turns out he isn't behind, and I just kind of messed it up. But now, still, because of this, I have a good flank timing. I get a
have
kill
bomb.
on actually the bomb. And I know there's 2 cave, and that the other guy is probably B side. So I try to immediately use some utility to give myself some space. I use my smoke on one side, and then I'm going to use my Molotov on the other side, and now kind of tuck in so that I can try to isolate the duels, basically. And now I hear him burning on ramp, but I hear him stepping on cave. And it's just a case of who's going to play first. I'm going to predict that it's the cave guy playing first, since basically the other guy is burning him on Molotov, so it would make a lot of sense for me to peek ramp. And I'm assuming the cave player knows that, so I'm just focusing on the cave player. Now I get both kills. And then my thought is I want to just flash to give myself some time to think. And then I was thinking I will flash again and go outside the doors. He will never expect it. But somehow he manages to dodge this flash and kill me. I have no idea how. But yeah, in hindsight, this was a bad play. I forgot how well this smoke was positioned, and I could have just held that and won the round. But this was poor by me.
The reason why is because, to rephrase your question,
So now, cutting out the boring parts basically, but we just rush A on pistol round, and we do get a good bomb plan for donut. We do go 3 guys donut.
I think everyone.
But
CT and
Problem is that they have a smoke, and now we just basically lose the round because I can't find the angles to the smoke, and all my teammates are dead. So yeah, that's kind of that. So now we had a super rough start to the match. Now we're down 9-4. We don't have money.
Especially if you're level 6, you can improve on anything. So
Um,
focus
and yeah, this is the situation is not getting better basically.
less on like
So last session, because now we're on the T side and we can start looking at patterns because I'm playing in the same areas over and over again. Very common utility for a cave player is either doing a Molotov here or doing a nade here. And what some people do is they will do a Molotov and a nade here. This kind of utility, like the Molotov and nade, is a really powerful way to slow down a cave push. First of all, the Molotov makes it so the T's have to use a smoke on it, which my teammate just did. It's flying here in the air. And the nade will do a lot of damage and also do a slowdown. If you do just the nade, you don't force out the smoke. If you do just the Molotov, you force out the smoke, but you don't do nade and you don't do the slowdown. But combining the two means you really effectively block a cave rush. And this is a really important part of this T side, how I'm going to read and how I'm going to beat the opponents later in this match. But as you can see, my teammate smokes it off and he immediately gets naded. So this tells me that the cave player, at least in this round, wanted to do extra to block fast cave.
how instead of the what, I guess is the best answer I can give.
Now we get a kill on cave, and the round basically just evolves. I honestly don't have a big role in this round at all. My teammate, my green teammate, got 2 great kills. Now we do a smoke, we get another kill, and I'm just here as an extra guy basically. But we win the second round. Really important, obviously.
It's probably just something in your head.
Now the worst that could happen is obviously if we lose this
Now
round,
that you know it,
and I think
you
we
like,
don't.
expect,
But I don't quite remember.
expect everything to go like this.
So here, we take mid. Taking mid when you have more money than your opponents is typically very good. I talked about kind of the inverse. When you are CT, you can, like if you're CT and you have more utility, better weapons, whatever, you can typically block mid and then leave mid. As T, it's kind of the opposite. The CTs can't block mid, so we can take it early. And now we get a kill, and I just go out, and I hit a nice shot on that guy. And now I will skip this even. Basically, we just get the kills and we win this round. Very important. I think this is when the match starts becoming really interesting. I know it's been quite a while before we get to like the meat and potatoes, but I hope you guys will agree with me that this is, you know, a worthy match to talk about. So now,
Warm up is
I think actually
more mental.
maybe it's next round, because I think here we are still against kind of low money.
You don't warm up to actually warm up. You warm
That's
up
the key.
because it feels good.
So yeah, I will skip ahead a little bit more because
Warm
we are
up.
just
I'll come
cleaning things up. So now it's kind of the first real buy round of this half. And as the score is 9-7, this is obviously a really important round. We have the call. This I think it's Reggie or someone at least, I think, did the cave smoke from spawn. And the idea is we want to take fast mid. We want to run across the B lane and take mid from in front of cave while also having people from down mid. It's not my call, but I'm following the call because I think it's a good one. Problem is, we see again this Molotov come in. My teammate is actually, even though we didn't talk about it, turning off the Molotov, which is great. But here comes the nade. I'm immediately at 49 HP. Here comes the cave smoke. But now I just get spammed through cave and I die. And now my teammates down in mid die.
Mid smoke.
Close smoke, close smoke.
And now my teammates fully die. And then, yeah, we do actually get some decent kills, but
Come in.
we anyway get killed from behind and another 8 layer. So, what... this is a little bit of a hard question because I didn't skip over it, but I didn't talk so much about it. But what does this round tell us about their setup? If someone has seen it. Like, how are they setting up in this round?
They are staying to middle, to B, and one is A. So A is a bit easier to get, I think.
Yeah? And how are they playing mid?
They're playing to take lane control with cave player.
Exactly, right? They are doing this aggro mid control I talked about earlier, which is like the most normal CT setup you play against on Ancient. So, I've talked about this a million times. This is the number one thing you need to take from this session if you've never heard me say it before. This aggro mid control is very good. Don't get me wrong. There are pro teams that run it, but there is a very clear flaw in this setup. The problem with this is when you have, you know, your cave player moving forward, you have your, like, one goes basically heaven, one is holding down mid, you play 1A and 1B. The problem with this is you're leaving the outskirts of the map weak, basically. So, rushing is good, or otherwise going straight to bomb sites is good. And people who play this kind of aggro mid control, they rarely change. Like, especially in Faceit, they just keep spamming it until it stops working. So you want to make sure that it stops working as fast as possible, because it is strong, as I said. But there are clear counters to it, and I'll show you one of them. And this is my favorite counter for it, basically. This heaven info and cave player that can come out and play info here makes it extremely difficult to play from B. And this is something that's kind of unique to Ancient. Like, if you were a CT on Mirage, for example, and you would have a short player playing aggro out short and a connector player playing aggro out and stuff like that, it's true that you can block people from going short and connector and boosting window and stuff like this, but from middle of Mirage, you cannot block ramp, apps, or B apps, right? Like, so basically ramp, or B apps. That's what's unique about Ancient's mid, and why so many people like playing aggro mid control is because not only can you keep control of mid, you can keep control of cave, and so long as you can look here, you can keep control of B. You can actually remove 3 out of the 4 main pathways to play from, right? Or I guess you can even say 4 out of 5, because you eliminate elbow, you eliminate heaven, you eliminate cave, you eliminate B. So there's basically only A main left. So you force people to either fight you or to play A, kind of. But there's a trick to this, and this is, again, number one thing. If you have to learn something for this session, please note this down and do it yourself. It's so fucking overpowered. So this is basically a counter to this I've thought up myself. What you need is, you need slight mid pressure to make it look like default. Green player here, he did window smoke, he did a flash. Now we have someone coming out, he's molotoving the Tetris boxes so that they can't go fast heaven, right?
Subs count
Now,
in my head, double right now. Because
actually, it's not even this round yet. I'll show you next round though. So basically here, again, we see the Molotov combo, like the Molotov and the HE. Again, what does this tell us? It tells us the cave player is really not wanting us to play fast towards cave, right? We see also a B ramp Molotov, and also we know every CT team will put mini nades mid, like at least one smoke, at least one Molotov, and like 2 nades basically, or 2 Molotov, no smoke, or something like this, right? At least like basically you need to do half of 2 utility sets, and it's like the valuable grenades like smokes, Molotovs, and yeah, I guess HEs are a little bit less important in a way. But it's like a lot of blocking util. So if they use blocking util on ramp, and heavy blocking util on cave, and heavy blocking util on mid, what does that tell us? Anyone?
They don't have a lot of util later in the round.
Yes, exactly. So it tells us, it kind of tells us 2 things. It tells us they won't have a lot left for late, and it also tells us they don't want us to play fast, right? They are using everything they can to make sure we don't play fast, and also it strengthens our ability to play late. Like they kind of go hand in hand, but they are both valuable to know basically. So we see again, heavy blocking here. He does a nade on B as well, and now we're just kind of playing a normal round. We die again because the cave player did heavy blocking util and then went and fought it.
I think he's alone.
And also what's smart here is like, because we have to smoke off the Molotov, the cave player almost has a free Molotov, like a free smoke here on the left side, so he can just play completely in cave.
B. I'm gonna go B.
So here I take kind of a risk because one is spamming side and one is cave. I go and do the Molotov for pillar because they have to be one towards pillar and one towards cave. Unless they started 3 on B, that means the Molotov can either force the pillar guy out into a solo fight, or it will lock both of them inside cave. And this Molo pillar is so strong for me in this match. You'll see why. So now I'm going up B, and my teammate dies from inside cave. Now, because I can see this is a different guy than the cave player, and this guy's an AK as well, this is the B player, and that's why I choose to smoke him off, so that I can take more space and scale. Now, unfortunately, the cave player has pushed through the smoke and kills the bomb. And it just kind of messes up the whole round. So,
Expected a move like just hard.
now,
Play slow.
basically, we lose this round. It's 11-7. Times are tough again. My teammates don't even have a lot of money. Like, I have enough for an AK. Another guy's enough for an AK. This guy could get an AK body armor, but it's looking extremely rough right now. And now, you can say, can we try to play slower? They use a lot of blocking
So
util.
much utility and do so much at the start of rounds. I think if we just play slow, we can like get kills when they pick us.
Yes.
Can we come every?
So now is when I think I call this round that I was talking about. This is the number one thing you take from this session.
I wanna just go B, window smoke, green at the start of rounds.
I will just
I
let
think
you
if
hear
we
what I'm
just play
saying.
slow, we can like get kills when they pick us. Also, can we try something? Can you do window smoke, green?
Yeah, not easy though.
No, that's fine, but like as fast as you can. Can we come everyone B? I wanna just go B, but I will just like let's just go many towards B. I will smoke off, and then I'll mono pillar, and we just go and kill the B player, okay? Just trust me on this. We go right after the B player's molo.
So this smoke is the same smoke that my teammates have been throwing the entire match, basically. Nothing here seems out of the ordinary by me doing this smoke. But what is the important part of this and why this round is so good to run is when you smoke this off, it's true that the cave player gets like a free smoke basically. But what it also does is, it makes it so we put more pressure on cave in some regard. If I let this Molotov burn, the cave player knows I can't go cave and fight him. But when I do the smoke on the Molotov, the cave player knows I could potentially be going to fight him. But that is Okay, now it goes a little bit deep, but that is the strength again of the aggro mid setup. Even if the cave player is afraid of me pushing him here, the heaven guy who is peeking will be able to hold the smoke for the cave player, like they can fight together and they, destroy me running through the smoke basically. The problem for the CTs is if you have 3 players, because you have one holding the mid smoke, you have one fighting heaven, and you have one forward cave. You have this compact setup, which again is brilliant because you can hold down mid, heaven, cave, and B. But as soon as I do this smoke, it means they cannot hold A and they cannot hold B. They can only hold cave, heaven, and elbow, which are basically the 3 mid areas. So, what I like to call against this aggro mid setup is exactly smoking the Molotov, doing light mid pressure so it looks like a normal round, which in this case was just done with a window smoke. And then when the B ramp Molotov fades, we just pop B. Now, because I like asking you guys questions, why am I so certain that when teams play like this, the aggro mid setup, that there will be a B ramp Molotov?
Because you said that they would like to stop a rush. That's why they're using so much utility. So it's most likely that they don't want them to rush on the ramp as well.
Yeah, and why is it especially in the rounds where they play an aggro mid setup that they want to block the rush?
Because it's the weaker side.
Yes, the weakness is on the sides, not in mid, right? So the B player is kind of, he must use his utility to block a rush, right? And that's why
Right after this
if you
go
Molotov
up and get ready.
pillar,
You ready?
right when this Molotov fades,
I'm
and you
Molotov.
just do one bad
flash.
flash, normally the setup looks like one forward cave, one heaven, one holding down mid, and one B typically playing on the long side, or playing inside cave. And actually, this ends up being kind of a bad call because they are kind of B heavy. But because we do double Molotovs, this guy who was in the copy is forced forward. Now there's another guy short, and I trade that out. That is a rotating player, and actually we killed the cave player.
I think one is cave. Watch out.
And now I kill another
He's
rotating
dead,
player.
one. I think one cave. Watch out.
And now we kill cave player, which is actually the B player. But I mean, they swapped in this round, and we win a round. So in this case, they actually did change the setup. That's obviously something that can happen when you call this round. But if they wouldn't have changed the setup, we would win it. And even though they did change the setup, we still won it.
I know it. I can do it.
So now, we hopefully, at least my idea here is, I've told my teammates we need to play slow because they use a lot of blocking util, and that's basically what we want to do our whole game plan around. But now, again, you see my teammate running here and doing the smoke, and my other teammates wanting to fight for mid. And now they actually do deep Molotov ramp, like really deep. They do an extra nade, and they did B door smoke, which just hasn't happened before. So my mind immediately thinks they are going to push B.
I think they're fighting B. He's down B. I can't really help you. I just tried.
Now, our guys who step out mid actually kill the cave player. That kind of saves the life of Orange. And now I can Molotov off ramp to give him extra space. Now I blitz the smoke as well. But now, because I guess we didn't have a window smoke, or maybe the window smoke failed, I don't know. We die 3 in mid, and my teammate dies from B push. And now the round is just over.
They take heavy mid. Guys, can we try to play slower, like I said, please? Like, they're just... They use Molo nade to block cave rush. They take heavy mid, they do B door smoke, and they just contact down. Like, if we just play slow... I don't know, I mean, this was the first round they do it, but they just, like, listen to me when I say they use, like, 5 utility sets after 15 seconds. So if we just play slow, we win. But if we play, like, fast, we lose.
And now, what actually happens is, our guy, Orange, immediately goes and dies on A, even though I just told him to play slow, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah. I will search a bit cave.
And now, basically, I see the guy heaven. I molo him because I'm hoping I can get like a fight or space. He gives me a fight, and I win it. And now we just play kind of slow. The other mid player, because we've been playing B heavy most rounds, pushes mid for whatever reason, gives us a present. And now,
And then we leave and go.
yeah, now I make actually what I think is a quite good call.
Okay.
So I do a deep donut smoke, the one that lands here in donut. And, well, I won't bore you with all the details because it is a little bit of a heavy round. But basically, because we killed both of the mid players, and we know it's cave player alive and B player and A player, by using this deep donut smoke, it's very likely that the CTs right now don't have any information in mid. This donut smoke can be really good if you want to go A, since it allows us to kind of take donut a little bit deeper, but not let the CT play from inside donut. It's kind of like a normal donut smoke, but what it can also be used for is taking mid and waiting behind the donut smoke and then going A. Because we know we killed both B players, I'm expecting the CTs to not have any information in mid. So I do the smoke now, which puts pressure on A and mid. Now I'm flashing out mid, because I know people will hear this flash, but they won't see it, most likely. And now we just go B. And we just go B contact. And yeah, as you will see, we just walk up into an empty B bomb site. Probably because of the mid pressure and A pressure that I did.
Broken door and like full fight.
So next round, we go with the same. Play slow. It's literally all that needs to be said here. And you can see how passive we are playing now on B compared to how much we are fighting for space earlier. We're not turning off the Molotov, we're not taking nade damage. But now again, actually, I think it's the third time in a row, we give up at just random entry. And I have no idea why we keep doing it, but we just keep doing it.
Can you hold right side of the smoke?
And now, this is also just bad from the CTs.
They used like 2 or 3 smokes already.
But now, a guy pushes the B smoke and just dies. This is a really important round. I know you guys like when we talk about predicting, you know, enemy patterns or like predicting what opponents are doing. And this is a great round to give you an example of how I used it here to win this round. So we kill the B player, which means likely the right side of B is clear. And now, if you listen very carefully, you will hear a heaven guy spamming. And if you listen really carefully, you will hear a cave player running back.
Nice.
I will fake B here.
You hear it? So someone is running here and someone is shooting here. And this alone is enough to make me understand the setup. One is shooting heaven, that's the heaven player. They have one holding the mid smoke for him. They have one A player. And then they have the cave player who just lost his B player and feels like he needs to go back to B and block the side. So I just randomly did my pillar Molotov because we killed the B player. But now that I'm connecting the dots, you will see when it hits me, basically. And you will see how I react to this.
He's behind the Molo. I'm going up. Fuck it, I'm taking a risk.
And now again, you know, I would love to scale and take more space and use my smoke instead of the backline. But I decided to use it on the side because I'm just thinking it's better in this case. This smoke is honestly not that great because they can just go behind
outside,
it.
I think.
I can
I need to
stop with
smoke.
spamming. And now I kill short, and my teammate kills another guy who's behind the smoke that I just blitzed.
Short one, dead.
Now I die,
Cave behind the smoke.
but we have someone lurking behind cave, and we win a round.
Guy dead.
So all that it took for me was actually hearing the sounds of one guy shooting and one guy making a step to understand the entire CT setup and where the space was. Or at least, obviously I can't know it with 100% certainty, but it was enough that I felt confident in taking the risk, and that's basically what changed the outcome of this round, because we could have lost this 4-4. Next round, because we've been doing so much B pressure,
Like hidden here, okay?
and I've been starting B every single round, I choose to start on A, just because I have a feeling they're going to push on A. And yeah, I find an opening kill for us here, because a guy pushes on A.
Push A that one.
And it actually, you can see that the timing of this is, I think that he's not coming. So I start moving, and that's when he shows up in my crosshair. Like, I move now, and then he
Push
actually
A that one.
shows up. It's pretty lucky timing. Now, again, I do the deep donut smoke, but this time we use it to take mid. I do a Molotov in front of cave, so that cave can't stop us from going here. And now we don't have window smoke, but I trade with a nade.
Can we take donut, guys? Just come donut with me.
And now this actually becomes a really good position. Obviously, we already have bigger weapons and more nades, but we use this donut smoke
Okay. We
to
can still
take donut.
We can end it.
And now the purple guy
Smoke.
gets contact on B, so we know we have good timing on A, and we can walk out, and again we actually get into a free bomb site here. Now we actually almost throw the game. We go and peek CT and die, and now our B player dies. Now I do a deep Molotov to force out the CT, like force him to peek us basically. But he overswings my angle, and my teammate doesn't win the duel. So now I'm in a 1-on-2. And this is a pretty difficult duel. I quickly realized that I didn't kill him with headshot. So he gets a... Yeah, a lot of people don't know this actually. And it's understandable because not a lot of people talk about it. If you kill an opponent with a headshot, their screen just fades to black immediately. Or like, it immediately goes to spectating a teammate. If you get a kill by shooting them non-headshot, doesn't matter if it's a grenade or if you shoot them or whatever, they will have like 2 to 3 seconds where they can see where you're running, basically. So I notice I don't kill him with a headshot, obviously. And so I make a move as if I'm running towards donut or aiming. But you can see that I try to walk back here without him knowing. I try to take an off angle on him right here. But he actually is expecting me close on the side. Or maybe he's just peeking donut right now. He sees me and I get another awkward fight. But I pre-spam basically and I win a duel. So that's really nice.
IV or whatever.
And now, 12-11. Some would say the hardest round in the game. They again do the B door smoke.
Okay, guys, can you just wait, everyone? We are smoked on B.
Was this just like high level of game sense? Because you immediately know, like, if when you didn't kill him with headshot. Do we get that like through the time we play, or someone need to teach us that?
You definitely need to hear it. And I think it's also something that I'm not always able to do. Like if I would be playing a professional match on stage, whatever, it's possible I would be so nervous in this case, I wouldn't pay attention to the small details. But it's definitely something you can achieve over time, you know, if you keep playing.
Yeah. Would you say like even the pros are like nervous on the stage when they play?
Yes. Not necessarily always, like, but there will, like every pro is nervous sometimes. It's just not always they're nervous. But yeah, every mental coach I've ever worked with has told me, even the best athletes, like even Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, whatever, they get nervous at times. It happens. But they are just better at dealing with it than other people because they train to deal with it.
It's normal thing. So
yeah, so being nervous
Okay.
doesn't mean it's, you know, shouldn't be afraid of being nervous. It's a normal part of the game.
That's
One thing
like
I think is interesting here, by the way, is notice how I cut through the bullshit in our communication with my tone of voice. So I don't yell, but I just say calmly, as if I was an airline pilot or something like this. Guys, let's play safe now and don't give entry.
that's actually true. IV or whatever. Okay, guys, can you just wait, everyone? We are smoked on B, but they will probably push somewhere. We just wait out all the util and we just can retake it together.
Like, I'm not speaking too fast. I'm not yelling. I'm not sounding nervous. I'm just saying, guys, they smoked us on B. Let's all play slow. Blah, blah, blah. And this is a way where, you know, even my communication sounds like I'm very in control, even in a, you know, important part of the game. So that gives confidence to my teammates, but also I managed to direct the team without, you know, yelling. That is actually something. And now basically I'll skip ahead a little bit, but we wait out the smoke,
And I think I
and
know
now
the flash as well.
they, as we're about to go, they decide to resmoke.
That's fine. We just wait it out.
Now I go and do a deep cave smoke.
I will
And
do
I
deep
just
smoke
do-
cave. I flash one or we just swing. Okay, you ready for this? Just go up B when I'm flashing now. Bang.
And now we go out and we win the trades.
Nice, keep going. Go B, go B.
And now I do one of the most important pieces of util to know on Ancient. Molotov for backline. It's not a hard lineup by any means. You can just throw it while running up ramp. But if people have played Dust 2, when you go out short and you Molotov CT, you do that because you want to cut off the rotation. On Ancient, you do it on the backline. On Anubis, you do it by Molotoving tempo, for example, as you're going out, or you Molotov camera on Anubis as you're going out. Most maps have like a place you will want to Molotov to cut off rotations, and on Ancient, Molotov in backline, especially when you get fast kills, we did here, is an absolute must. Because there's a chance that they push through it if they have good timing, but if they don't, then they will be stuck behind it. And in this case, they hear that he's burning, he pushes in front of it, now I do a small detail again, I throw a nade, and then I peek with the nade. So even if I die now, he will die to the nade. But he just dies
I
to the
go
nade.
inside cave.
And now, I know, because I know my nade lineup here with the cave smoke, that there's a small gap in the right corner here that I go into, because I'm worried about ramp and cave, not about backline. And as I go in here, the smoke fades, which is actually not what I wanted, but this gives me the information the cave is clear.
I'm inside cave.
Now I'm gonna hide, but since he's not cave, and I don't expect him backline, he has to be ramp, and now for me, it's all about finding the right timing of when to peek. Because he will probably come and clear me, since he saw there's nowhere else I could have gone. I could have likely not made it to backline with his ramp timing here.
Yeah. You can let me play first. I peek one time side.
So yes, we end up actually making a comeback happen, and going into the rest of the game, we just play slow again. Like, here they actually, our blue guy decides to go in front of the
Yeah, I
smoke,
think you should come out, Warbringer.
but it ends up going well for us. We get an entry in mid.
Mono ramp.
I mono ramp for him. He kills
I can
cave
flash
player.
ramp for you. You want? Flash?
Now I flash ramp.
Thank
He peeks. The guy is full blind. He gets another kill.
Can you take bomb?
And now we just
Inside
yeah,
cave.
finish the round, I guess.
Please, someone. Yeah, I got him, I got him.
I go and trade my teammate, and we get another kill.
But it's fully unfeeling.
Now, because we've been playing slow for so long, they are going to expect us to play slow, so we decided to do a rush instead. And I tried to do a running donut smoke, but it was just on feeling, and I'm pretty sure I've
I
definitely
need it, I
failed
need it. Thanks. Can you boost me? Can you boost me?
As you can see, we've been playing fully controlled Counter-Strike, and now we're playing chaotic Counter-Strike.
Push me, Chris.
So that can be difficult to go between the two. But we get the first kill. And now, I don't know what happens here. I get two kills. And I trade one more.
That.
And then I kill CT.
Oh,
So here we just change up the pace completely, because it's the last thing that they will expect after we've been, playing so slow.
And I'm really stepping up here in the big moments.
Now you see again, actually, we try to do something aggressive, and I think it gets kind of punished, at least. Yeah, both of our guys who play aggressive now die again. I'm not really sure why we went back to doing this. It was definitely not the plan. But now we just play a slower round and we lose. So moving over to the CT half, we have the confidence now. At this point, 27 rounds in, I have 33 kills with 13 deaths. So that is great. And now I want to fix the problem we had earlier, which was not fighting heavy mid enough. So we go out mid, and as I'm going out mid, the guy is edging the molo, and he kills me. And now this guy gets a kill, and takes out smoke, turns around, and the orb pushes the smoke and kills him. So we actually do end up winning this round, and there is one part of this round that is quite interesting. Definitely something you can learn from. Our cave player kills ramp, which is the bomb.
Nice.
Now, because he dies, our teammate can swing and trade.
That's ramp.
Now we know Lest is ramp, and this Reggie guy, who is actually our A player, is in a really, really unexpected position. Like, at this point, it would make sense for Reggie to be somewhere on A. But he's actually way closer than the T's will ever expect at this moment. And he does make one very crucial mistake. And I will just let the clip play, and you guys can tell me what it is.
That's ramp. Reggie is with you. Fight him, guys.
Side.
He's side. Might have lost.
What is the crucial mistake?
He naded, so he was. So enemy knew about him.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. When he comes in on rotation here and he's unexpected, him nading gives away the fact that he's here, and then he's no longer unexpected, right? And also, I think actually makes another crucial mistake here, and that is he needs to talk to his teammate and just tell him to basically peek, because
Fight him, guys.
he is tucking in on the left wall when in reality he could go a little bit more to the right and hold like off angle here, for example, and then blue could swing on his contact, or they could just straight up peek together while he's nading. But he tucks in on the left wall, and now it becomes 2 1-on-1s instead,
He's side.
where the T has information on both players, and this could have lost us the round. It's good he won it, but this could have lost us the round, and in turn it could have lost us the game.
Yes. And I will rotate B.
Now, because the AWP edged last round, we're doing double Molotovs instead of
think
doing
maybe
deep
that's
smoke
good.
and Molo. And
I smoke
Yeah.
cave. I smoke cave.
I
Flash
think
your cave.
now
Nice.
I don't
No
even
flash cave.
remember what happens here.
Close left side. Oh.
Guess this guy just runs up B. I kill him.
I smoke cave. I smoke cave. It's fine.
No way.
Oh, I think this round
Yeah, as well.
I actually go and
Yeah.
clear out the A
Yeah,
guy
fuck
now,
you, A guy.
which works well for me, somewhat.
A guy dead.
And I immediately rotate towards B.
Yeah, they will go out B now probably.
I can
And here, in hindsight, maybe I should have gone long. I was hoping the smoke would be up for a little while longer, because then I could have walked through the smoke and had an insane timing. Either walked into cave or walked through the smoke. But the smoke fades, and I only manage a headshot here, and I die because of my low HP, which is unfortunate. Puts us at 15-14. And now,
I did
at 15-14,
smoke. I'm all of it.
they're going out again.
I think they're going out.
I
Maybe.
blitz. I trade my teammate.
There's one mid. No one else. No one else out mid. I'm rotating.
And
Molly.
yeah,
I
go
have
over to
crossed
B.
the side, kind of. I can flash
I
a
don't even
ramp.
remember how
Flash ramp,
what
flash.
happens now.
Bang. I can't really help.
How much
No,
you keep?
can you? No, we don't have. Nice.
Give it up.
So yeah, here we just end up behind the smokes, I guess.
I know where to.
They know we're two on the back line. We have to wait for Reggie.
One side.
Luckily, Warbringer gets a kill through the smoke here.
Ramp one.
And now, we don't want to make it too obvious that we are waiting for Reggie, so we want to keep up the pressure.
chill, we have time.
Yeah, we're shooting. One can be in short smoke.
So I will keep spamming the short smoke a little bit, just keeping up the pressure a little. I want to jiggle to make sure if he's inside the short smoke fading, I can kill him. And here even I make a move that forces the opponent to peek me and gives me a kill.
Can ramp clear? I will clear default.
Yeah, it is.
Should be.
You can see my movement and making so much noise makes him uncomfortable. Because, I mean, otherwise Reggie would kill him. But he peeks me, and because I'm still moving from side to side, he has very little chance in this duel.
Cave
And
right
now,
side. Cave right side still.
this could have actually gone wrong. Because he smokes side, and my opponent decides to spam him through the wall. And I actually let him spam Reggie quite a bit through the wall. But worst case, even if he would kill Reggie here, I likely trade him. And then I still would have had time to defuse the bomb. But in the end, we win the match behind 7-1. And yeah, I end up with
I'm looking at him
37
keeping his
kills,
eyes.
I believe. Yeah, we don't even get to see
GG.
that 'cause I left. But yeah,
GG indeed.
GG.
thank you.
Nice.
Wicked game, Loki.
Yeah, it was a damn good game, and it was a fun game because my teammates were, they were nice to play with, but also it was like a game where we did a good job at adapting, right? Like when we started playing slower on the T side, then we started winning, and it's not normally something I would ever recommend doing in Faceit, honestly. Like, you can play slow, but you need to have the right teammates, and it can still go wrong and stuff like that. But it was so clear to me what the CTs were doing here was using the utility early and just fighting for aggro mid control. So I pulled out all the stops. I got my teammates to play slow. I pulled out a counter on B, like the B pop basically, and we also switched up. After we had been playing many slow rounds, we did throw an A rush into the mix. So I think this T side was really good, and I think in the end we deserved to win. But yeah, it was obviously an uphill struggle, and yeah, I think a cool game to review with you guys. So
Yes, that's really nice.
Nice game.
perfect. I'm happy you guys.
What did we
Yeah.
learn today?
That's what I'm asking. Do you feel like you learned something?
Mm,
Yeah.
Yes, a
I
lot.
feel like
Perfect. And
I just
think,
learned to. I just learned like when I'm shooting guy, if I kill him in head, he will not have like
Replay.
information about me where I'm
Yeah.
going. But if I kill him in like
I have-
any other body, he will have like 2 second gap.
Yeah, I will see if I can even show you guys here, so you can see I'm not yapping. You see how
That one
as
came-
I die here, I'm like my body is falling to the ground. See if I can find a round where
They used
I get
mode.
shot
This was
here,
a
for
bait.
example. But here I get shot by headshot. Look, boom. Okay, actually, in this case, because
That's
I
a
have
retry.
no teammates to switch to, I guess it stays on it. Let me see. Let's hope I'm not talking bullshit. I didn't die so much this match. Here I die to a body shot through the cave, and we can see how it looks. So I fall down. You can see if someone would peek heaven now, I would be able to say it after my death, right? It's what's called a death cam. Let me see if there's a round here. I died by. No, I'm also last alive. What I
You
get for
didn't get
baiting.
headshot this game.
Yeah, I didn't die much in general.
Yes, better.
Probably did not.
I don't know, but
What?
oh here, no, but here I was also last alive. I only ever died as last alive, almost. Let me see if I can find a round where I died.
You
Not
probably
present.
died somewhere. There is no way you didn't.
Yeah, you would think.
I don't know.
But it has to be with
Slowly.
headshot as well.
Expected a move like that.
Okay, here I
Yeah.
died. So here I get headshot, and you see how my screen fades to black?
It's yeah.
So that's the
I-
difference.
I'm gonna go.
I always thought it was a bug, to be honest, because it was so annoying when the screen was fully black.
Yeah,
I would blame it on the game.
but that's what happens when you get headshot. Like, there's a very different, like here, you can see it immediately fades to black. So like, as I'm dying, now I can't give any more information. But in the round where I rushed the cave, like, I'm not sure which exact round it was again, but
Wait,
like
how
this
much?
one, you can see how it doesn't fade to black.
That's sick.
At least it
Yeah.
does it slower, right? So
That's a sick detail, Loki.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wait, how much you strafe before you stop to shoot?
ooh, that is really dependent on like a lot of things. I mean, you will always want to stand still when you aim, preferably. There are some exceptions to the rule. Like let's say if you're crouching, you can move as much as you want and spray, and you can like. If I'm holding D, for example, I can compensate for the way I'm moving, but my spray will still be accurate if I know how to compensate for it. But in general, you want to be standing still when you shoot, and it goes basically for any gun, except for maybe, MP9. You almost want to move as much as you can, and the same with some pistols like 5.7 can be a really good pistol to run with, or USP can be a really good pistol to run with because it's like you don't want to make yourself an easy target.
A
so-
Glock, you forgot about Glock.
And a Glock,
You
yeah.
can basically
definitely.
just
and a
run
dual
and
Berettas
shoot.
as well.
You can jump and
Oh, yeah.
shoot. That
Yeah.
gun is
Jump and shoot
broken,
with
bro.
Glock, bro.
Yes,
That gun is
exactly.
broken.
I
Yeah.
have a question.
Yeah, go ahead. I think I have time for 2 questions today, guys. So you can be the one of the ones.
Okay, so let's say I play on CT. Usually I play like 99% solo queue on faces. And when I play on Ancient CT, I usually go B, right? But you know this combo when you can fire. If I play cave, obviously, if I molly and do the nade combo, usually if I do it, if it will, I will waste some seconds, So is it better if I do it, or if I tell some teammate if he can do it instead, and then I smoke him on a ramp /banana? Like, what do I do
Yeah.
to like?
I
Not,
get your question. Like,
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you will have to check that with timings on an offline server because I can't give you the perfect answer. I'm not a cave player.
Yeah.
But I think you losing the seconds is actually what makes the timing work. Like, you want to throw the Molotov, so it's there before the T's are out, right? So they really have to make
Okay.
a conscious choice, like, do we want to go through it or not? If it lands too late, then you're fucked anyway. And I think even though you lose a little bit of time, because you nade
Yeah.
on the Molotov, the timing of the nade is perfect when you do the Molotov and then the nade after. Like, it's perfect for the first spawn or the second spawn, basically, like those two spawns. So I think
Yep.
you shouldn't be worried about losing the seconds, but there are cases where, you know, if you play against people who you know will anyway brute force through that utility, and you know that your teammate knows how to throw the utility for you, you can do this. Like, you can get him to do the utility for you, and it could have a slight effect. But I think I would just go on an offline server, get the best spawn as T, run towards cave, and see, like, at the area where the nade lands, which is like right around here,
Yeah.
what time on the clock, and then as you do it on CT, you can see, okay, how much time can I lose, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Nato, I have idea of counter for the mid aggro play.
Yeah.
What about throwing an insta for heaven, then waiting a molly that cave player throws,
Yeah.
and staying in gate on B,
Yeah.
and throwing molly into cave, and
Yeah.
fighting with him in
Yeah.
second tempo.
Yeah. No, that's great. The only issue with that, because that is good, but the way that good players will counter that probably is that they will, in heaven, use their HE to blow open the heaven smoke, and then they will fight you anyway. And if they do that on a good timing, you know, some people will even do it that they can get their B player, for example, to flash in front of cave as they nade it. And in that case, you will have a really rough time. That's why it's not as easy of a counter, because there's a lot of things that the CTs can still do to fuck you up, you know, like, and it can become quite chaotic. But in the event that you can throw the smoke, and, you know, the CTs don't blitz the smoke and they don't flash you, they don't spam you and stuff like that, then that is a really good thing to do as well. Yeah, taking cave control that way. You can see in this game we basically didn't have cave control a single round just because they blocked it so hard. So yeah, I think
I'm
what you're
just
saying fully makes sense.
asking. Nato, I'm just asking because you said that City will throw 2 nades into elbow, I think, or maybe one, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, that is normally what happens. I think I normally only do the double nade if I expect the T's to rush out mid. Otherwise, you can just do the Molotov and a nade. Then if they rush out, they will run into your nade and get slowed and take damage and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, but the problem is also this lane is not that wide. So for the heaven player, there is even a small wall he can stand behind here. He can spam this, and the cave player can also spam. But yeah, it is for sure possible. It just is a little bit more. I wouldn't say there's more things that can go wrong, but it's more chaotic. Is basically it.
It's probably more difficult to get this idea.
It's more difficult to do consistently, basically, because it
Yeah,
depends more on what your opponent's doing. Whereas if you just do a B pop, I mean, there isn't really a good counter for the CTs there. They can also blitz the same smoke. Check this, but they won't have. I mean, they will only have this small lane to look, right, and you would potentially already be up on B. So, yeah, that's basically how that goes. Do you feel like you got your question answered, my friend?
yeah.
That's great. I think what you're saying makes perfect sense. I will have to go now, guys, because I have to not only get up early tomorrow and stream, but also I have a dog that will probably want to go out before I head to bed. But as always, I'm just really happy that you guys are interested in the coaching sessions that I'm making. It's so great to see so many of you, and also that you guys are, when I'm asking questions, there's always someone providing an answer, and it's
99% of the time the correct answer that I'm looking for almost immediately. So yeah, just thank you so much, guys, for being here with me, and I hope to see you again next week.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
no problem.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, nice too.
Thank you, guys.